beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I am Jeanevarose. If you're new, thank you so much for tuning in today. Here on my channel, you can find all stuff related to creativity, music, self-awareness, self-love, self-growth, all that good stuff, all to inspire you to live your best life and feel your best within yourself. So thank you so much again for tuning in. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna talk about the Joker today and how that connects to the Joker the movie is what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go see it. There will be a little bit of spoilers in here, so if you don't care, just want to let you know that. And if you've already seen it, then no problem. I really wanted to talk about the Joker because for the first time ever, I understood him and I understood his pain and I connected to him and I related to him and I could see a certain level of reflection in his actions and in the things he was doing. It was something I had never experienced before watching the Joker movies and like the Dark Knight and all that stuff. Like I always am like, oh, the Dark Knight, like Batman's amazing, you know, he's saving the day. And Joker's just a psychopathic killer and, you know, all that stuff. So I never really connected, obviously, like unless you're a psychopathic killer, you're not going to connect to another psychopathic killer. Like that's basically what it is. But this was the first time actually like really connected to the character and everything. So in this movie, you're seeing, it's basically a prequel. So you're seeing how the Joker like basically became the Joker. You're seeing how Gotham became Gotham, and Gotham's like the city that they're in. You're seeing how it became what it is, and just the story of how he became the person that you see, you know. So yeah, it was very interesting. I have some points here, so if you see me looking down, it's because I want to make sure I get the points that I have for you written down so you guys fully understand and grasp the message that I'm trying to relay. So, you know, with the Joker in this film, you're really seeing how the beginning of his pain and like how everything starts off is just really like he's just kind of misunderstood. Like he's struggling with this mental disability, and I don't know what the name for it is, but it's where people just laugh uncontrollably and they can't stop. So that's why he's always smiling and always laughing, and how he got the name the Joker is because he has this disability to where whatever, like it doesn't matter, it's in the most uncomfortable situations, and you see it throughout the film. And he's just like hysterically laughing, and every time you just feel so bad because it's like in the most unopportune times he's just hysterically laughing, and people don't know that he has that disability, so they're just thinking that he's literally insane. And then because he can't communicate, because literally when you're in those moments where he's like laughing so hard, the person can't stop. It's literally like their stomach hurts, their body hurts, their throat hurts because they cannot stop laughing. But nobody else knows and can understand that. So he's just like, oh my gosh, like I'm just hysterically laughing and everyone thinks I'm literally insane, but like that's not what the case is. And you know, he's battling a lot of unresolved issues, like with his mom and with his disability and with his life. Just you can tell, and the film starts off like just in this very like dark tone of he's trying to figure himself out. Like he's at the cusp of figuring out who he is, what he wants, where he's going, all that stuff. And I know it sounds kind of weird to say that because who he ends up being is like a killer and all this stuff, but whatever. We all got our own evolution, and this is just a movie. But throughout the movie, he's encountering circumstance after circumstance after circumstance that's just like beating him down, and no one is showing him compassion or understanding or like acceptance of what he's going through. Everyone's literally just looking at him like he's literally lost his shit and he's literally insane, which, whatever. You know, he deal with his stuff, but everyone's looking at him like he's crazy. But in the beginning of the film, like he hasn't killed anyone, he's not really in those thoughts, he's not even in that place. So he's really just this person that's hurt and just raw and waiting for someone to help him or show him some compassion, and no one was doing that. No one was showing him any love or compassion or understanding of what he was going through. And literally over and over again, you see in the film, he just gets shitted on and shitted on and shitted on, and nobody is seeing it. And that's what makes, I feel like, part of the plot of the movie so riveting and so intriguing, is because that's how we're also all relating to it. You know, no one is seeing your pain unless they were literally there. No one knows what you've gone through. And this is what's happening to him. Like, there's a couple scenes that really stood out to me. One scene was, you know, he's like, you know, those people that have the signs on the side of the street and they're like dancing and promoting whatever business or whatever company they're doing that for. These kids are taunting him and they steal his sign, and then he has to obviously run after him because, hello, that's my sign, that's my job. So he runs after them, and these kids like they run and run and run, and he's chasing them, and you know, they had the whole plan obviously. And in the alley, they just like literally beat his ass. Like 6 kids just like beat his ass and hit him with the sign and break the sign in half, and he's just like on the floor, just like messed up, so confused. Why are you doing this to me? And later in the film, his boss, he has this encounter where he's telling his boss, like, I don't have the sign. His boss is like, you need to return the sign. Like, you need to return the sign. Like, you need to return it or you're going to get fired. And he's like, I can't return the sign. They beat my ass with it. Like, the sign's fucking broken. I just fucking got bloodied and bruised by this sign, and you're telling me to return it back to you? And he's like, you're lying. He's literally looking at him and he's like, you're lying. Like, nobody would steal a sign. Why would anyone do that? Just stop lying, bring back the sign. And you literally see the smile just emerging, and it's just like the creepiest smile, but you fully understand it. And because you just feel like you're infuriated for him, because you're like, you just watched him get his ass beat. You just watched him get his ass beat. And then you're going to say, give me the sign. It's like, I can't give you the sign. I can't give it to you. And then there was another part that was also really stood out where because of the sign incident, like where he got beat with the sign and everything from those kids, one of his coworkers that he works at, because he's a clown, like he wears, like, that's where the whole thing started with the mask and all that stuff. Not the mask, really, just the makeup. He was a legit clown. Like, he wanted to make people laugh and be a comedian and make people smile. Pretty crazy, right, when you think of his evolution, but his intention was always just to make people smile and make people happy. That's what really trips you out. But as I was saying, there's this part where his coworker is like, wow, you really need to protect yourself, man. Like, I'm gonna give you this gun and you need to be careful and just, you know, watch your back, because stuff like that can happen to you all the time. So we're thinking, you know, even though, you know, as a viewer, I'm thinking, you know, a little skeptical just giving someone a gun, especially someone in his mental and emotional state, not the best idea. But you understand, because he did just get attacked. So later in the film, and keep in mind, his coworker gave him the gun. He gave him the gun. Later in the film, he ends up getting fired because his coworker said that the Joker tried to buy the gun off of him. And you're just like, you gave me the gun. You gave him the gun. Like, how can you do that? Like, and it's just like little things like that, which really aren't little, but they're just like stacking up, and instances like that where you're just seeing him get shitted on, and you're seeing basically people lie, and he's just like, I'm so confused. Like, and you can see that he's losing his faith in humanity, which is why he goes off the deep end, because, you know, keep in mind that he's someone that's struggling with a mental disability. He has no sense of self-awareness. He doesn't have a great deal of emotional intelligence and maturity, so he's not able to understand the things that are happening to him and be able to like separate himself from the things that are happening to him, as we all kind of do, like in our childhood. And this is what I mean by, you know, we can see our own reflection in it, because we've all gone through instances in our life, painful situations, hurtful situations, heartbreak situations that nobody else really could fully understand. And we've all been through times where it just felt like life was against us, or people were against us, and we weren't receiving the support and love that we really needed to get better and to feel better. And you could see he was just losing his faith in humanity, and just like, wow, like, I am trying so hard to do good and I keep getting shitted on. And you're just seeing and you're just waiting. Like you're watching the film and you're just waiting. You're waiting for him to fucking snap, because it just is like circumstance after circumstance. And you're there, you know what the movie is. So you're there, you're waiting for him to fucking snap. And then he snaps. But even when he snaps, it's almost like it's not murdering people is not justified. Even if it's a movie, real life, whatever, murdering people is not justifiable. But with someone with his mental and emotional state, you can understand what he was going through, because I believe in his mind he was thinking, oh wow, all these people are shitting on me, right? So what I'm gonna do, keep in mind now he has the gun, what I'm gonna do is boop, kill that, which is basically like killing the thought, killing the emotion that's attacking you, killing the anger. I feel like that's what he thought he was doing, which, and sometimes we all think that we can do that, like kill the anger, kill it, because he didn't have any sense of, again, emotional intelligence and awareness. So it was just like, I gotta get rid of this anger, this feeling, and he's attaching his emotions and feelings to other people, because they're the people are the ones that are hurting him. So that's why he like attacks them. And when he finally snaps, you understand it. And he snaps. Of course, these 3 kids literally are taunting him because of his disability, where he's laughing and can't stop, and they just start beating his ass because he's in a clown mask. And that's a whole other thing where it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's what was the thing that was going on in my mind over and over again. And why I could have compassion for the Joker, because you were literally seeing like the shittiest people treat him like shit. So it was just like, oh my gosh, like you're just getting beat up after beat up. You're losing your job for something you didn't even do. You're getting beat up. Like so many things are happening to you, and you're just like, you want someone to be there to him. And there's even, he has a therapist and stuff where he goes and sees, but it's more like it's not like a nice therapist. It's more like government, type of aid, type of crap where they don't really care. And in the film, you're seeing him go to her session after session, which finally, like the whatever program ended up shutting down, so he no longer could have that time with that therapist. But you're seeing like, every time they talk, she doesn't really care. She's just kind of asking, like there's no emotional connection. She's not showing any real compassion. She's basically looking at him like, you have fucking problems, and like, and it's just like, you're supposed to be helping, and you're not showing any love, compassion, understanding. Like, this is supposed to be your job. So it's just like, you're seeing all these things that just look like the whole world is against him. And he is not aware of any other reality except for that. So when he snaps, you get it. And when he snaps at those kids that were beating his ass on the train, he kills all of them because he had the gun. And it's just like crazy. And like, he ends up killing more people, and, the plot thickens, and it just keeps going and going and going. But one thing I will say, he doesn't kill anyone that hasn't done anything to him. He only kills people, like he literally had an instance with his coworkers. He had them come over, or they came over, just surprise. And he ends up killing the one that gave him the gun that got him fired, the dude that was like hella fucked up. Like, not that he deserved to die, but that is pretty fucked up. But this other coworker that's there, he doesn't kill him. He's like, you can go, because he was never mean to him. He never showed him he was never mean to him, so he doesn't take his anger out on him. So you can understand, like, oh, okay. He's only killing the people that really hurt him, which makes sense. And in the end, he ends up killing his mom too, which sounds pretty brutal, but when you see why, like, you see all the things, because through the movie he's unraveling basically his truth, and through his story he's seeing how his mom actually is very mentally deranged, and she was like just crazy. And something that really I thought was really powerful that I really want to mention is there's this part where they say that when he was younger, like his mom used to abuse him and stuff, and he was found severely bruised up all over him, malnourished, and all this stuff. Now, fast forward to the now, that's literally what you're seeing him as all the time. Malnourished, bruised, and you're just like, wow. I took that as like truly the traumas that we deal with as a child or in our life, if we don't heal and grow through them, they just continue to expand and develop through our adult life and through our just evolution of just being a person. And that's what was happening to him. Like, he was literally, even though he wasn't a child anymore, he was in the same kind of predicament that he was as a child, like bruised up, malnourished. It was just like, wow, like stuff like that really made you think. It really made you think about stuff, like, and see things differently. And then towards the end of the movie, you know, he becomes glorified almost as like a god, because, you know, he ends up killing these people, and the people that are killing, it ends up getting on mass media and all that stuff, and like all over the news and that stuff. And some people, not all people, are taking it as, wow, someone is finally sticking up to the man. Someone is finally saying, hey, you can't treat me like shit. Boop. You know, like that's what's happening. And people are dead ass resonating with him and glorifying him as a god. Like literally at the end of the film, they literally break him out of going to jail. Seriously, break him out and put him on top of the cop car, and everyone's like, and you know, he does his weird ass dance moves. Like, oh my god, I can't even with those dance moves. I cannot. Like, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about with those dance moves. Like, Joaquin Phoenix played that part, like, oh my god. He killed it. But like, they literally put him on top of the cop car, and he's rising, and like there's hundreds of people like cheering him on, because it's like, it's a reflection of like dark and light. You know, how the rich always shitting on the poor, and one day the poor is just gonna be like, I'm gonna fight back. And it's not even about the poor, like financially poor, but the disadvantaged, the people that have had hard times through life, that weren't shown compassion from their environment and from the people around them, and were abused by everyone that was around them. And because they didn't have a sense of self-awareness or emotional intelligence to change their reality, it continued to happen over and over again. And it was just crazy. It was just crazy. And, you know, they end up glorifying him, which makes sense, because when people are hurt, they're going to connect to people who are like them, or people are in love, people are going to connect to people who are in love too, you know. So you really could see, and it's even a reflection of our society now, how it's like, there's some of us who are like on this journey of fuck the system, all this stuff, but then there's some of us who like aren't in that, because they're the ones kind of, you know, controlling the system. And that's what it was about. That's really what the film was about. And that's why I related to it more than ever, because in a way it was like, you know, your darkness is just a manifestation of your pain. And we can all connect with each other through love and through pain. But we need to like show more love. Like, we need to show more love, because stuff like this, like, even though this is an extreme case and this is just a movie, it's also like real, because it's like people go through that stuff where like they're flying off the deep end and no one's there for them, and like they're just wondering, why is nothing in my environment supporting me? Why is no one there for me? And you can understand, because we've all felt like that. Maybe not all of us, but I know I felt like that, where it's felt like people were not, the environment that I had was not good for me. And feeling like people, whether that was in my family or friends, was just like, ooh, you know, you're not, like, you just don't show me what I need. And just going through things, going through emotional abuse and things like that, and emotional traumas and all that stuff, you begin to create an image of who people are because of how people have hurt you, which isn't always true. The people that have hurt you are not all people. But if you don't have enough emotional intelligence and awareness to be able to discern that, then you end up in things like this, and especially if you have a mental disability or anything along those lines that's making it even harder for you to understand that, then it's like, of course you're going to fly off the deep end. You don't have anyone telling you not to. You don't have anyone trying to help you. So you're just like, okay, I'm just going to take my anger out on everyone who's treating me like shit. And you can't say anything about it, and I'm not going to feel bad about it because no one has shown me love. So why should I feel bad about killing these people when no one's shown the love? So I really felt like, all in all, I feel like it really represented a message of like empathy, of like having empathy for other people. I know that sounds like interesting, like, wow, you're taking a message of empathy from the Joker, but it really does. It teaches you empathy because you're just like, wow, this person's going through so much. Nobody sees it. And it just shows you like people are always going through so much, and just show more love, show more compassion, show more acceptance, show more truth. Because you don't know what people are going through. And you don't know what a smile, what a hug, what a just sharing love and happiness could really change someone and really not, or would really affect them to not go off the deep end, you know? So it was really just like to love each other. You don't know what someone else is going through, and that we're all connected truly through love and through pain, which in all can be love if we decide to, let it be. So, all in all, an absolutely amazing movie. I literally want to see it again. It was so many truths, so much amazingness. I'm so happy I seen it and just got to experience it and just take all this information from it. I hope if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely go see it. I hope this inspired you, and I hope you found some wisdom and knowledge from this. And if you have seen it, I'm sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about and you resonated. So thank you so much for tuning into another video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys very, very soon. Make sure to check me out on all social media and comment, like, and subscribe this video. I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace.